Hello, ladies. Sorry, a bit late there. Helps to be in the right group when you're doing these things. How is everyone? Oh, I've got a few people here. That's good. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll get started now. It's a few minutes after 7. So, hello, everyone. Linda here, and welcome to the first Watch Me Work Wednesday for 2026. So I hope everyone's had a great Christmas and everything. All right, so today I had one of those, it's all cut up now so I can't show you, but in that image that I have, hello Annette, how are you, lovely? And Belinda, how are you, darling? Welcome. Yeah, so I decided I've got a few of these mini project sheets from 3/4 Designs, and I really love this one. The colors are just so gorgeous, so I thought I would work on that tonight, and yeah, so show you how I go through that process. Okay, so I'm using just a canvas board. This is one that's been kicking around my studio for years, and so it was a bit grubby on the front, so I've put a couple of coats of gesso on there. Hello, oh, hello, Naomi. You're crafting together. Oh, isn't that sweet? Oh, wished I was with you girls. Uh, and Susan, hello. Awesome. So, good. The gang's all here. That's wonderful. So, yes, I've done a couple of coats of gesso on here purely because it was a bit marked on the front, but I always, even though they are gessoed, I tend to put a coat of gesso on anyway. So I'm going to put some texture paste on here first, and then I'll go through some other bits and pieces that I'll be doing also. So is anyone, I know that Naomi and Tegan are working. So how are you girls? I hope you had a good Christmas. Okie dokie. So tonight I'm going to be using my Ranger texture paste. It's an opaque crackle. Absolutely, since I found this, absolutely love it. And because I don't know, in the past, I could be because I'm impatient, but I couldn't find an opaque, what is it? Crackle paste that I really liked. But this one I don't seem to have any problems with, so I'm pretty happy with it. It's a very fine crackle, but it is a nice one all the same. So before I sort of, I mean, you would have seen the sheet that I put on the post from today, so I've cut all the bits and pieces out, but you know, it's sort of, everything will probably sort of sit here, and I'll have some other little bits and pieces around here, but I'm going to be building up the layers in the elements here, plus add a few extras in as well. But I want to do my background first, and so everything's going to be kind of sitting on this side of the page. So I'm going to put my favorite stencil, and so I will put that up in the corner here. I just love this one. I just love that trellis pattern and a little bit of flowers on it as well. So I'll try and keep up with the comments. Hello, Susan. You're just watching tonight, Belinda? Yep, that's all good. So I'm just going to do this very finely. Because I'm doing this live, I don't like to put, oh dear, oh dear, got a dirty brush there by the look of it. I think it had a little bit of Lindy's on it, and it's coming out. Oh gosh, hang on a minute, got to wipe that off. I think it's on my stencil, so bear with me for a minute, guys. Off to a good start, isn't it? I don't want orange because there's absolutely nothing orange on my picture. It's the problem when you don't clean your stencils off, particularly if you use Lindy's with it or any of those sort of powdery things. Okay, let's try and again. All right, here we go. There we go, a little bit in the corner there, bringing it out. I do go off the edge a bit with my stenciling. Oh dear, still a little bit of orange there, but that's okay. Just have to put up with that. So I don't want to go too thick with it. Just bring a little bit down there. Only because, oh gosh, it's still orange. Anyway, I'll just have to bear with that. And so I'm going to put a little bit more down here. Just shows you I didn't clean. I don't clean my stencils anyway, but I should have really washed this one out properly because I think it's got Lindy's coming through it. So a little bit down in the corners on each end. And on this side, I'm not going to put the flowers in, but I'm just going to put a little bit of trellis coming off the edge and just dragging that down a little bit. Beautiful. And a little bit over here as well. Hello girls, if you've just tuned in. All right. So what's the All and Create challenge that you're doing there, girls? I'm out of the loop. So I'm just going to very quickly just throw this in the sink with water. Okay, I'm back. Now there's way too much orange on there, but anyway, I'm going to be putting some Lindy's colour on here soon, so hopefully that might cover it up a bit. Oh, yes, okay. 31 themes, is that one a day? Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so we'll just put that to the side. I will dry it off a little bit now. And see how we go. I won't dry it off too much. All right, so now while I'm doing that, no, you haven't told me. Oh, the end of March. Oh, okay. That's doable then. There's so many challenges and things on at the moment. It's really hard to keep up. Hello, Corinna. How are you, lovely? Yeah, I just love this stencil. Hopefully it'll start to crack in a minute. So I'll be able to show you what it will look like. Oh, okay. All right, we'll just leave that as is for a moment. So it's there, it's got a little bit of colour on it, which I didn't want, but that's okay. I'm going to go through, but I'm just going to leave that for a few minutes just to settle. It hasn't started cracking yet, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll let that dry naturally for the moment. Okay, so I'll just bring out my other bits and pieces here that I've got, all sorts of things. Unfortunately, I only had the one sheet, so I don't have the full sheet for you to have a look at, but this is pretty much, You get all these lovely little elements in on the sheet. Lots and lots of different things that you can use. A couple of things, I also went through some of my things and put some extras in here as well. I've got a couple little doyleys because it's a nice tea and all this sort of thing. Pretty stencil. Yeah, that's my favourite, Wendy. It's from Paper Rose. I believe it's still available, but I don't know who has it. But all right, yes, sorry, I'm getting distracted by comments there. It's good that you're putting lots up. So where were we? So we've got lots of bits and pieces here, and lots of little teacups. So these little doyleys, I purchased these from Uniquely Creative. Now, I don't know if they still have them, but I bought everything that I could, you know, there's hearts and all sorts of leaf shapes and all sorts of things. And they're just nice for tucking in and around when you're doing these kinds of things. So I bought a couple of those out. And then we've got all these other little cutouts from the sheet as well. And also I've had a sizzix die cut of this lovely doyley shape, and I thought that would look beautiful with the teacup, and so I did a couple of those just in case, and some other bits and pieces that I've got from other places, and yeah, so I've got those as well, and a bit of the old cheesecloth and all sorts of things. Now all of these I've cut out, and I have gone around the edges with watering can, the ink, and I prefer the watering can because I just find it's just not as intense as the jet black. You know, it's just puts a nice little subtle. So I've got these bits here that I haven't done, so I've gone through and done all of those, but I just tap around the edges. Yes, Annette, they're beautiful. They're from Uniquely Creative. I don't know if they still sell them. I've probably got them 2 or 3 years ago, but whenever they bought out some new ones, I always bought a couple of packets, so they're always handy. And you got like, I don't know, maybe 12, 20 or something in a packet, so they were good value. So you check them out if... Now I could grunge these up a little bit. Let's get some old scissors. I don't want to grunge it up too much because it's such a pretty set, so but sometimes I just like to crunch it up at the sides and as well. And so that's all done. And these are all bits and pieces for tucking in and around the main focus images. Who said? But we aren't shopping this month. Oh, aren't we? Who said? Yeah, absolutely, Susan Bellman. Yes, I've been pretty good. I have spent a little bit of money this year, but not much. Now this one I like. I was just digging through all sorts of bits and pieces. Oh, I should mention too, I've got some flowers that I'll put, you know, tuck 1 or 2 in. The reason I'm doing that mostly because I'm working on the board rather than in a journal, because if I put flowers in a journal, it just makes your journal too bulky. So I prefer just to do it like that. So I'm just going to keep all those bits and pieces in there for the moment, and we'll go back to my board and just see. Ah, yes. Now I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up. It's starting to crack now. I'll give it another little go at drying it and see how we go. I think what I might do is I'll put a very light coat of gesso over this as well, because I just don't like that orange. It's subtle, but it's just the colour. I don't want the colour on my piece. I'll bring it up so you can sort of see it's only very subtle. Just wait for the camera to catch up. But certainly in the corner here, you can see it. Just waiting for it to catch up. Yeah, it's probably a bit hard to see, but not listed larger. Oh, okay. Yeah, look, like I say, I did buy them a few years ago, and I wouldn't be surprised. Just grabbing my gesso. So I just want to put a very light, I wasn't intending to do this, but because I've got that orange on there, just want to get a very light, just a light coat, just to try and push back that orangey colour bit. Because I just hope I don't drown out the crackles. Anyway, it'll just add to the interest. Dry that off a bit. Yeah, I'm the same, I must admit. In January, I try not to spend too much because I just get sick of spending money. You know, like before Christmas, it's Christmas presents as well as crafty stuff, and it just gets quite silly after a while. So I try to have a bit of a break in January if I can. Let's hope they don't start bringing out new products. Yeah, look, if you're looking for the stencil, I mean, you could just, I think it's called trellis or something, but if you look up paper rose, um, I had a feeling that Hillbilly Scrapping had one recently, but I could be wrong there. But I would look up paper rose, and I think it's called trellis flower or something like that. So have a look through their stencils and then see if you can find it. I know if you spoke to Nat, she'd probably order it in. If you can't find it anywhere, she would order it in for you. Okay, so let's get moving. So also what I've got here is I've just done up a little bit of colorway with some Lindy's here. Now I put the texture paste on there so you could sort of see as well, but I've decided to use two colors, the Gypsy Vibes Smudge the Sage and the Own It Gold from the Go Girl set. This one here, I added a little bit of purple into it because I thought, I could just see a little bit of purple in the flowers. But in the end, I decided that the Own It Orchid is good on its own. So I'm just going with those. And okay, I've got a little container here. Oh, hello, Leslie. All right, so where are we? So these are the two that I'm using. I'm using from the Go Girl set, I'm using the shimmer because The Go Girl set comes in shimmer and flat, but I've opted for the shimmer ones. Although sometimes I find the flat ones have more intense colour, which is good. So if I find the colour's not quite what I want, I'll throw a bit of the flat in with the shimmer colour as well. Did everyone have a look at the video from Tracy from Lindy's gang this morning? It was really, really interesting to hear about the naming and you know how the names progressed over the years from what they've been going 30 years or whatever. So that was interesting to hear that. All right, so just get a little brush. Am I still in camera there? Yep. All right, so look, I might have a little bit mix of colours here. I'm not going to be too worried about it. I'm just going to be dripping some Lindy's down. Where is the brush? Where's my big brush? I'll just have my big brush. Oh, this one will do nicely. So I've got a nice big brush that I like to pick up my Lindy's with. This is like a size 24, so it's quite a big one. Now I'm dipping it into the pink. I'm just going to very quickly light spray over my surface. And I'm just going to just dab it over where the flowers are. I'm not going over all of it, just the flowers, and you'll be able to pick up this the crackling. So there's only going to be a little bit of the pink. I'll just push that up there a little bit. It's just a nice little colour. So I'm just going to sort of leave it in the corners there. Maybe I might just splash a little bit around here. So I'm going to dry this off a little bit before I put the green on, because if I put the green on now, it's going to go. So I'm going to try and just bring that up a little bit so you can sort of see. You'll be able to see the, hopefully, the yep, okay, that's it then. Yeah, I know it's got a meshy sort of, very dark there, isn't it? See if I can bring my light around a bit. Just seems very dark. I think I need another light above here. But you can just sort of see in the corner there, there's the crackle. All right, yeah, so I think that is it. Who was that, Michelle? Oh, Susan Bellamy, yes. Yes, Susan, I think that is it. They've Yeah, so I just don't know. Like I said, you might be able to get it ordered in for you because Paper Rose is in Adelaide, so Nat probably would be more than happy to grab that for you. Okay, I'll just grab a paper towel. And I do like, I love Paper Rose stencils because of the size. They're small, they're compact, they're nice thick mylar that they're made out of, and they just have some gorgeous designs. And quite often they have stamps and things like that that go with it as well. All right, so just sort of letting that sort of sit there for a bit, but because I'm so impatient, I hate doing this, but anyway, I just want to try and dry it off a little bit. So I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants tonight. You know, I've got some things in mind of what I'm doing here, but a lot of it is just on the fly. Then when I get a little bit impatient, I just dab some of that off. Yes, that's right. But I do love their stencils. You know, I think they're a pretty good price point. Lovely designs. Love their stamps and die cuts that go with it as well. Um, while I'm at it, I don't, like I said, I'm not real sure where I'm going with this, but I've got two of these, so I think I might put some Lindy's on one of them. I'll keep it on white because I do like that white sort of look about it. So I've only got a little bit of Lindy's left here in the pink, and so I didn't use my thickest paper, but anyway, we'll let that sort of dry off on its own. So it's just got that very light shade. Found it? Yep, good on you, darling. Honestly, it's probably one of my most used stencils. You know, you get your favourites. I've got a million stencils, but that one, and that, I think they've got another one there too. It's just mesh, and I used that the other day, but I don't know. There's just something about the mesh back in the backgrounds that I really like. It's a bit like the grid. I like the grid, whereas that's more squares. These are more diamond shape. So I love that. That's just going to sit on the side and dry off a bit. And so this is kind of dry now. It might be still a little bit damp. I'll just hold that up and see if you can see. I know. I use always, whenever I go on, I always go into the clearance section because I've picked up so many gorgeous little stamps in the clearance section. You can sort of see the crackle there, but it's really not coming up so great on the camera, but that's okay. All right, so I've got my sage, smudge the sage. Now the smudge the sage, I'm just going to start, it'll look a little bit dirty, especially with that orange in the background there, but I'm just sort of poking it around. It doesn't look so good. It's looking quite grey, but anyway, have I got the, yeah, I must have a lot of silver in it. So I'm going to just, I tend to just put it on and then just sort of more push it rather than brush strokes as such. Take it into the middle. Making sure it does go over the pink. The orange stands out quite a bit on this. It's looking quite grey. Does it look grey on there? Yeah. Let me just do this again. I'm going to do some more in here. Some more. I wonder if there was any dark. Ah, there must have been some overflow in pipette I used before, because have a look, they're quite different now, so it must have had some black or something in it. Gosh, I'm not having much luck with my colours tonight. That's okay. I will still use that up because it's giving a nice background on it. So there must have been something in that pet that I used when I mixed the colours. That's all right. Okay, so let's try again. There we go. That's better. Sometimes I have a Lindy's, one of the old magical shakers, that the original shakers that she had, and I used the black one in that a lot, and I think there might have been a bit of, in my pipette there might have been some leftovers from that. It hasn't been washed out well enough. Oh well, that's you see it all warts and all here, that's for sure. Ah dear. You know what I'm going to do this time? I'm going to just sprinkle, just to get more coverage. And spritz. And this is where I'll just start mixing it in. So when you do it like this, you can see all the different pigments that are put into these colours to make up these. It's just absolutely has me mesmerised when I play with these things. I think because I love colour, I love playing with colour, and I think that's why I love using these a lot, because you do get these beautiful colour. Okay, so it's looking a little bit of a hot mess there at the moment, and that's okay. So we'll just come in with a little bit of, oh, just love it, love it, love it, love it. So that's so much better now. There's a little bit of pigment there. I'm going to leave that. I quite like what's happening up in this corner. I really love it, this corner up here. Does that mean you've now placed your foot? Well, you got to do it eventually, girls. Just don't blame me when you're doing all your... All right, so I'll dry this off again. Whoops, I know I'm go against my... Oh, don't like that up in the corner there. Trying to keep the corners pinky. Sorry, I get carried away here and I'm not talking. So I'll just grab back because I'll let that just dry off for a little bit. I might grab my, I like to put this guy out. I love this die cut. It's a sizzix one. I think it's old. I got it on the clearance. God, it's so cheap, but I'm glad I did because it's got a nice shape to it. Oh, hello, Shari. How are you, darling? All right. Okay. So I'll just leave that be there for the moment. I'll bring out all my bits and pieces and we can start having a bit of a play with composition while we're waiting for that to dry off a bit. I will dry it off later if it needs to be dried a bit more. But I'll just bring out all the bits and pieces. There's lots of little flowers on here as well. That's something I was going to do. Just bear with me, I was going to put a little bit of colour on some of the flowers. So I'll just do that quickly while we're waiting. Sometimes these things just come to me as I'm just doing things. Grab a little brush. Okay. Now, my flowers. Let me just put these out the way because I don't want colour on them at the moment. I just love that. Oh, those colours are beautiful. Oh, reminds me of the Christmas one we did. Now, these are a bit bigger than I would have liked, but, you know, I don't have a lot of this kind of thing. Because I'm not into sort of scrapbooking, but I do like to have some, but unfortunately I didn't have any small ones. I've got small in that, but I was going to just put a little bit of Lindy's around it on some of the petals. Geez, you girls are doing high finance on this. Do I get a spotter's fee? That would be nice, wouldn't it? So you can see there, I've just put a little bit, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a bit of the hint of colour on there. And even before I glue it down, I might just put a couple of little spots so that it's very similar to what's there. It's basically white, but it's got that little bit of colour in it. All right, so we'll get rid of that. Lindy's there, and we'll let that dry off too. I'll just put that there, let him dry off there. Okay, so this is the part where I just sort of keep. It's kind of hard to explain this section because it's just a matter of tucking everything in and all that sort of thing. I just go by instinct for some of it. This one I like because it's a chipboard and it's quite thick. So that's going to lift some of these elements up as well. Now, on the original sheet, if you go back to the post that I did today, you saw the original sheet. And the original sheet had a tag on it, but I went through and I chopped the tag up. So that's kind of what the tag looked like, and I've just cut around it. So that was a tag, and I've cut it up because the reason being is I decided that I'm going to make that into a tea bag string. So I've got my cream twine here. Again, this is from Uniquely Creative. I bought this a few years ago as well. I bought all the different colours that she had. And I'm just going to chop, get some decent scissors, shall we? Alright. So, yeah, so I decided that I would make this into a tea bag thingy. Now, of course, this is just the mini project sheet that I'm using here, but of course, 3/4 design, and you know, it's a New Zealand company, as most of you probably know. Yeah, so they bring out all of the different paper packs, etc. But I often buy these mini sheets because I just think they're a great little way of getting a project. And then you can add like the 3/4 name. They've done 3/4 of the work for you. You then finish it off with all your bits and pieces. All right, so I've got the little tag there, and so I'm going to hang that off somewhere. So that's the idea behind that, is to have the little string, so it will just hang down somewhere. Okay, so I've got all of these bits and pieces here. Let's just see what we've got. And I've kept those bits that I've cut off from the tag because I'll be tucking them in and around the areas a bit. And got a clock and other bits of tags and things. I found a couple of numbers, but to make a little point of difference, just to make it a little bit different, I found these numbers. So that one's just plain, it's a matte finish, but I actually put clear embossing powder on those just to give it a bit of a shine, just a little bit of interest there, so that everything doesn't have that all one dimension. All right, so you can see I've got lots of flowers and things here, and I try to place them nicely, but it is just a bit of a hit and miss. Tuck it in, untuck it, and then try something else. So it's just in the flavour of the gorgeous Emma Zappone, the way she does things. I just love her work. So this is my feeble attempt at doing things like what she does. She loves tucking things in, and that's what I'm trying to achieve here tonight. Yes, Wendy, do ask about spotter's feet, darling. Hey? Be wonderful, wouldn't it? But anyway, that's, oh well. Okay, that's kind of dried off. Okay, that'll do me. So I'm just going to start placing things down a little bit. Actually, before I do that, I just want to do another step but I'll just give you a bit of an idea of what's going on here. So this is where, I start just placing them on the board and then just start looking at the placement of it. Okay. Stuffing and fluffing. Yeah, I like that. Absolutely. I've done a bit of that in my time. Okay, so yeah, so it's just a matter of putting that on there. But what I want to do is I just want to bring more white back into here. So before we go on to doing all of that, I'm just going to, it's just something I thought of before, and I thought, oh yes, I will do that, because I just want to bring in a little bit of white, a little bit of interest on this background a bit. So I'm going to grab some gesso and clean this off, because that's what had that orange on. So I'm just going to do, you know, the old kissing technique. So I don't know if you can see that on the side there. So I've got my flat silicone brush here. Okay, just dabbing a little bit of paint on there, not too much. So I put it on, and then I'm just going to slish it down. Slish, that's my word. Just to bring back some of that, and I just go down one way. Okay, I go top to bottom. I don't go across, I just do it one way. Just adds another layer of dimension, plus it brings in, I'm not doing too much over the flowers, just a little bit, so that it looks like it's part of the deal. And it's helping to push back that orange, which is really bugging me. A bit more over here. I just love doing this technique. But you do have to have a flat tool. You don't want that. A little bit on the flowers. So I'll just have a look at this in the camera to see what it looks like. Yeah, I'm loving it already. Okay. Stop, stop, stop. Okay, let's see what we've got there. Okay, so can you sort of see that? It's just pushed all of the colour back a bit, but it's still there. I know you got this big blobby thing here, but a lot of that's going to be covered up. But I am quite happy with that. I love doing that technique. Okay, push everything out to the side again. So I just need to dry that off a bit. Now, I mean, I could get as fancy as I like with this. I mean, lots of rhinestones and things like that. I will use glossy accents. I tend to use glossy accents a lot on these things. But I don't know how effective it come up on the screen, but it is effective here. It does look quite effective. Now, something else I might do before I start sticking things down is I might do a bit of splattering on the background here. I will do a little bit after, but I want to do a good dose of splatters. So I'm just going to get rid of these things before I. Okay, I've just picked up the first ink is this is the 13 Arts acrylic ink. I can get it open. It's quite a thick one. It's another artist ink that's quite good. I quite like it. It's nice and thick. So I'm probably off camera here, but I'll bring it over in a minute. All right. So I do want to go a bit thick with this, as I like to do. Bring that over a bit. Just put that up there. Okay, so I'm going to go quite thick. Nice big splatters. Particularly on those areas where it's just got the mesh. And then a little bit where the flowers are. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. Gorgeous. Okay, more drying, more drying. So hope you can see that on there. I'll turn it sideways so you can see better. As it's the background, I don't mind doing lots of big splatters, but you know, once all of the elements are down, the focal elements are down, I'll just do a light splatter over the elements at the end. It does take a little bit of drying. Sometimes it's hard with these good strong pigment inks. They dry shiny. They have a glossy look to them, and they're kind of three-dimensional. So sometimes you think, oh, is it dry? It's not dry, but it is actually dry. Depends on how much water you put in your brush. Gosh, it's hot. Use my other hairdryer. Oops. Have to charge commission, yeah. I just see that, Susan. I think I will. Do you think they'll pay me though? I might charge them, but whether they actually pay me is another thing. Beautiful. Okay. Whoop. Oh, all right, let's get back into this again. Bring all these bits over, and they've all been sitting in Lindy's. Okay. I'll put all the flowers and just separate all the bits and pieces so I know where I'm at. I may not use all of these too. I mean, you know, I always gather lots of bits and pieces, but whether I use them is another thing. But they're there. All right, so we've got lots of leaves, some flowers. I'll put that up there with the tags. Put that there. Some white flowers, beautiful leaves. Just put all the leaves together. Flowers, flowers. Lots of good tucking bits. And the clock. Don't know if I use the clock, but anyway. We'll leave that there, and that's that. And we'll put that there. All right. So the first thing is I'll start just laying down and yes, good on you. We'll see how you go. Okay, I'll let you know how you go. how it goes. All right. So got the main part down here, and I mean, you girls have got lots of beautiful papers and things like that. You search all your bits and just add other little bits and pieces that are with on it too. So I might bring that bit over because I'd like that sort of sticking off a bit. Now I've got that there. I'm just placing it there for the moment. I don't know if it's going to stay there like that. And the beauty about doing it with my little laptop here, I can sort of see the composition as I go. But quite often what I'll do when I'm finished this is I'll take a photo of it because I've got to pull it apart to glue it all up again. And so that's always handy. So this is where I don't know what I'm going to do as far as this goes. Do I need more of this pink or do I need white? They're things that I'll work out as I go along. I may even just put that there. We'll see. So sometimes with these things I might tear it in half and I'll put half here and half over here. They're all little elements that will work their way in. So, and sometimes they're just glued, sometimes they're going to be foam taped, that kind of thing. So this is where I just do this. I just start placing bits and pieces. I don't have the magic formula for doing this. It really is just a hit and miss type thing for me. But I just love doing it. And we'll just see how we go. So sometimes I might get a little bit quiet when I'm doing this sort of thing because, because I'm doing a puzzle, so I tend not to be, so, actually, you know what I don't like about that? It's got that white border around it. I don't like that. Should have cut that off first. What do I do with my... There we go. Sometimes I like the white border on, sometimes I don't. So, oops, it's upside down. So there are all sorts of elements you could use with these things. You can use the film strips, that kind of thing. That's always beautiful for tucking in and around. So these will be lifted up in various spots, but at the moment they're just sitting around nicely. I haven't decided to put a quote on this at all. So because I've got the flowers down here, I'm going to bring in a couple of flowers. Okay, I'll just tuck that in there for the moment. I'm not sure if it's going to stay there, but we'll tuck that in there. I'll try and remember, I'll put some ribbon in that before I glue it down. I may use the clock, I don't know if I will, I'll decide that at the 11th hour. So up here, so we've got some numbers there. Let's see what we can, just to tie that in a bit. Have I got any more leaves? Have I used up all my leaves? That's a shame. So again, I'm sorry I'm not talking because I'm just sort of thinking, you know, I might do something like that. Don't know, not liking this part. I'm sorry if it's boring. It can be a bit tedious watching my brain work. I just feel it needs something there. Maybe I'll do. Might even just tuck that in underneath there like that. Maybe, I don't know, what's that looking like? Hi Linda, Denise, how are you, darling? You've been out for dinner. Oh, lucky you. Well, you can always watch the replay after, sweetheart. So I'm just doing the fiddly sort of bits at the moment. So you've come at the interesting time. I mean, this could be lots and lots of different elements that you would have in your stash. I didn't do a big search. There's probably a lot more that I probably could have. I think I would love to have twice as many flowers as this, but anyway, I don't have. So I just have to work with what I've got. I just feel that that's a bit big. Maybe we'll push that down there like that. Okay, and this is what I mean. So like I will take a photo of this when I'm kind of happy with it. Doesn't mean it's going to stay like that forever, but I'll take a photo of this. So I've got a bit of an idea of what the composition was. And also I've got the cheesecloth that I can just pull apart and tuck in different places to make it a little bit more interesting. I don't know that I would use that. Maybe if I grabbed out another one of those. I should have the box here somewhere. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the doyleys that I got. I just think it's great because it's adding a little bit of white, but it's also a nice soft touch as well. But yeah, she may bring them in again if she hasn't got any left. So I may even just sort of tuck that in behind there a little bit. All right. Okay. I'm just going to quickly take a photo of this just so that I can see. Come on, phone. All right, so just bear with me for a minute. I'm going to put my phone in front of this. So if you don't have the like what I'm watching my videos, I can see what my composition looks like. If you don't have that luxury, take a photo of it, sort of see it, and it's amazing how different it looks on, because you're removed from the immediate situation, so you're looking at it more objectively. Yeah, so that's always a good thing. Now I haven't done anything with these guys yet. I'm just gonna put that there for a second because I just want to sort of see, well, that color. Just want to see what that color looks like. So I'm waiting for the camera to catch up because I will tuck that right in underneath. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to do that, but because I don't waste it, I'm actually going to cut it in half because you're only going to see half of it, okay, because it's going to tuck in underneath there like that. So that way I can use it on something else or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to sort of start taking bits apart. Get rid of all that. So I've got that, that, and that. Put those there. I mean, putting them together won't take much. It's not to say it's going to look exactly the same, but it just helps. So I'll put that. Okay, I'll put that there like that. So, because what I'm going to do now is, yep, I'll just leave that there. I was going to staple it, but I don't think I will. I'll just glue it. Okay. See, already I've forgotten what that looked like. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, so it was on top. All right, so I'm just, oh, sorry, oh dear, I just knocked it. Sorry, just knocked the camera, so you're, I'm just going to put, and now I'm only going to put a little bit of glue on because I want to leave everything around so that I can tuck in things if need to, okay? So I'm just going to just lightly put that on there, but there's plenty of room to tuck around. So I'm just going to put that, no, I was leaving that there. First thing I want to do before, because I'll forget if I don't, just going to grab a bit more ribbon and twine. I'm actually going to double it up. That in there. Because it's a thin twine, I've actually doubled it up. And chop that off a bit. I can trim that down later if I need it to be. So I'm going to put that there like that. Okay, so I shall just put a little bit of glue, just a little bit, just to tuck, just to add these things in. Yeah, I'll leave it like that, sorry. So just so the flower's poking out a little bit, you can see that little flower there. And let me just see. Yep, that was underneath. So again, just a dot of glue there. And I'm just going to just tuck that under there like that. Just let it hold on. Whoop. Okay, so I mean, I can still tuck things underneath there and that kind of thing. All right, so that's that. Now these guys were sitting up here. All right, so let's put, this one can be a little bit tricky because I'm just going to put a big blob of glue in the middle there. And so I just want to just hold that down a bit. Okay. And I'll put this flower, so again, just a little blob in the middle. It's just enough to catch it. Just put a little bit off center. I'm just catching these things. You can always put lots more glue in on after. We are just wanting to attach them. Another blob there at the top because I actually want him to come down. So now I'm going to lift up that flower and just tuck him in there a bit. Or not. Okay, he didn't like that. I think the flower's going to have trouble. Let's tuck it right underneath there. That's it. That's it. I think I'm going to have trouble with that guy. So what I will do when I'm having trouble, I usually get my glossy accents out and use that. So I'll put a blob of glossy accents on there. Oh, or a big blob. Oh dear. Okay. I'll just hold that for a couple of seconds. Okay. All right. That's looking pretty good so far. So one of these little flower fellas, I'll just put over here somewhere. Number 3. And so he looks a little bit different because he's got shine on him from the embossing powder. Okay, so I'm not gluing anything else down at the moment. I'll just leave that for now. I'm going to start working on this guy. But, okay, so he's probably going to sit here like about so, like that. But I'm not going to glue him onto there just for the minute, because I want to be able to pick it up and all that sort of thing. So here's my tag, the leftovers from my tag. I'm just going to put little bits there. Okay, and it will sit over here like this. Because I'm going to put, where is it? I want to put, where's the ticket one? This. So I'm just looking at my photo as I go along on my camera and just sort of tucking things in. You can staple these things if you wish, but I'm just sort of looking at this as I go along. Probably had that one down a bit more. Okay. Oh dear. Okay, that's that. Where's that? Oh, here we go, the white flower in this. Okay. So the white flower, I'm actually going to, I've got to remember, I need to lift some bits up. So I'll just grab out some of these guys. I like them because they just lift up a little bit. I go through millions of these things, honestly. So I'm going to just put that in behind there. And look, sometimes if I don't think it's going to hold terribly well with all of the bits, I'll just grab my glossy accents and stick a little bit there. And I shall just put that, I don't know, somewhere there like that. Just going to hold that there for a bit. So it's actually sort of raised up a little bit now. And I shall just grab my little leaf and start to clog up and open too much. Look, and I know this is kind of tedious, but I think it's a good way for you to see the step by step. I know it can be a little bit uninteresting to watch, but if it's something you want to do yourself, it's good to see the step-by-step process of all of it. That's my theory anyway. Okay, so I'll put that there. Actually, put another one of them on there too. Whoops. Just smack bang in the middle. Put a little bit of that on just to be sure. I should get myself some of that 450 glue or whatever they call it, because I go through lots of this stuff. Actually, I think I might put, I've left a little bit of a hole there and I don't like it. So I'm just going to fill it in with the little number 4 there, so now that they're all connecting. Okay. And so this little guy, I'm going to, where am I? I'm going to put a few of these things, but again, I'm leaving space all around everything so that I can tuck in, you know, later on when I'm doing the cheesecloth, I can tuck in around bits and pieces so they can't be seen. Sorry. Okay. Oh, whoops, before I do that, I'll get this guy and put that there and a leaf. Tuck that in underneath down there somewhere. Okay, because I want that hanging down. Now I can put my teapot on so that it is just hanging off a bit. Okay, so I've got some little raised bits and pieces. So that looks pretty cool. So I'm quite happy with that. Let's see what else I've got to do. So we've got that there. Now we want to bring in these guys. So I will put that on there. Just leave that like that for the moment. So again, I haven't glued down these main bits because I'm just placing at the moment so that I can see where I want to put everything. I didn't cut out the little handle there. You could cut it out if you're that way inclined, but I kind of figured by the time I put a few splatters on there, it's going to just blend into the background anyway, so I wasn't too perturbed about that. So I want to put, have I lost anyone? I suppose I've lost a few. That's okay. Right, so I just wanted to put that leaf down so that I can put this flower. Put the flower there now. I just want to make sure that my flower, and it's just want to make sure it's in the right position there. Okay. Yep. Happy with all of that. And again, I'm going to have, right, so I won't put that on until I actually go to glue it down, and I'll do that leaf when I glue it down as well. All right, so let's have a look at what we got here. So that's right, I want to tuck that in underneath there somehow. All right, so we'll just start placing these bits so that we can. Now, like the whole of this flower, the cups and saucers, I'm going to raise them up a little bit. I may even put double. Actually, I'll grab my thick foam tape because it's It's thicker than the other, so what I will do is grab some of that and slap it right down the middle of here. So that's going to stick up a little bit more. I could make it double if I'll see. I might even make it double, but we'll see how we go. See, I quite like that. I will put a little bit of stamping on this after, so I like to put a bit of stamping on there. Okay. Sorry, I just lost my picture. Still watching, and Claire at the... Oh, yes, of course. PJ. Hello. Hello, darling. How are you? 450 group is hard to find. Oh, that'll be right. That's probably why I haven't got it. Yeah, all right. I don't even know what brand it is or anything, but I know Emma uses it and, you know, swears by it. All right, so I'll have to investigate that. So let's see how we're going here. So I've got that double-sided tape there. That one's lifting up a little bit. From your perspective, you're not going to notice that it's different layers, but I can sort of see here. I will probably... I will add more of this tape onto this one too. What I might do is put that there, because that still gives me a bit of room to tuck in behind. Ooh, that was a bit much. Alright, so I'll leave that there. So they're both going to stick up a little bit. This one will be flat, that will be flat. Okay, and you know, like I've still got bits and pieces here that I can tuck in if I feel like I've got a space that I need to fill up. Now, before I go any further, I've got this long string. What I'm going to do is, oh, smack bang right where I want to put, actually I'll put it on the side. There we go. I'm just going to stick a little hole in here because I want my tea bag string to go through there. Okay, now where it's going to sit, I don't know. Let's just sort of see what the problem is, it's going to cover up that beautiful rose. Nope, didn't think that through very well, but anyway, maybe something like that. Oh dear, didn't think that through very well, but that's okay. Right, so I just want to get some tape. Some of this tape will be fine. Yes, okay, well I'll have to watch the rerun of Claire. So no doubt I'll lose a lot of my audience because Claire's on tonight too. So that's okay. All right. All right, so okay, right, let me just have a look at my, come on. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with what I've got going here so far. All right. Okay. So like I said, I can add all these different bits and pieces to, I don't know if I'm going to add the watch. No. So I'm going to just take that off for the moment because I want to make sure I've got that placed where it needs to go. because I need to now stick this on. Put that right down, because I want to bring that right down there, because I want that touching the flowers down here, because that is going to draw your eye to the pattern that's on here as well as to that going on. Okay, and we still have to put those two. So this is going to go here. So glue, all right, yep, kind of got it. So I'll just put a little bit of glue around this. I know it's fiddly, kind of boring work, but you know, like it's probably not the best for viewing, but honestly it does give you some great insights into people's thought patterns. So where I wanted that, yeah, that there, that'll do. That's a beautiful design. So some of that's poking up a bit, and that's good because I kind of like that. And I just need to just make sure, I just want to double check these things before I glue them down. Okay, so this guy here can have lots of glue or not. So this is where, on this one, I'm putting glue everywhere because I won't be sticking anything down underneath that. So I'll just leave that there as much as possible. And that will still sort of just sit there like that. Yep. Okay. Now I want to put that there, and I want to put that leaf in underneath there as well. Right, so I'm just going to put that there like that. Now, glossy accents for this one. Just going to hold that down for a sec so it catches. Just takes a few seconds for it to catch. Come on, stay there. And then this little fella, oops, come on. Put the glossy accents down here as well. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to get it to stick, but once it's dry, it's fine. So we've got that there like that. Oh, come on. Okay, that can sit there like that. Awesome. Right, so I'm ready to take this off now. Have I stuck that down? Yeah. Okay. We end up sticking that down, maybe. There we go, maybe like that. There we go, that'll do nicely. I don't know if I'll tuck it in, I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so let's hope these guys are settling in now. All right, Now we can do this one. How are we going for time? 8:30. Oh, hour and a half. Okay, so I'm nearly finished here, people. Okay, so I'll tuck that. I want that to come right down. Beautiful. That will do nicely there. Okay. Oh, didn't end up using that. That's okay. So here I'm going to rip this in half. I'm going to stick that in underneath there. So this is the beauty of all of this, that now I can just start sticking bits and pieces underneath just to fill in little holes and things. Oh, that's right, I haven't done put my flower in anywhere, have I? No, maybe it can sit over here a bit. And I wanted to put just a couple of these little tiny ones in, so I'll just grab a couple of these little flowers, chop off their stems. Right. Try and open them up a little bit. So I've got two, and then I've got that one there. What's that look like? Oh, I think it needs to go over there more. Let me have a look. Let me just... Okay, so I'm just having a look in the... Yeah, so I'm going to tuck that in underneath there, I think. Oh! This is the fiddly bit. Okay. Grab some glossy accents for that part. And then this is where I'm just going to shove that in, push it down, and hope that it holds. Okay. And it's quite a big flower, isn't it? I would have preferred smaller flowers, but anyway. I want something like that there. Let's have a look. Just leave that sitting there for a minute. Let's see what's happening. Yep, I might glue that down into there. So I'm just going to put lots of, and then just shove that right in underneath. I want all the leaf underneath. Oh, come on. That's it. Okay, and where's this flower? This flower, okay. Sorry about not talking then. Now, what did I do with I had a bit of, right girls, just bear with me for a minute. I've put the, oh here it is. Okay, so we got this guy here. So I think they're just little bits, are they? Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is just grab little bits of it, pulling off little bits, and I will just start shoving things in somewhere and then just poking that. Here's my pokey tools. Just poking that in behind there so that that at least sticks down. So we've got a little bit there. And just ripping it off, not worrying about how much I've got or anything like that. Okay, so let's see, what have we got going on up here? Oh, I've glued all that down there. There we go. Alright, so get out. Put some glue there. Shove that in. Come on. Right, just shoving it all in there. Okay. A bit more. So it's good because you can fill up little holes, nooks and crannies with this cheesecloth just by poking it in different spots underneath. Because you haven't glued all the way down, you're able to do that. So just shove that in underneath there, poke it in, just push it down just so that it catches a bit. Okay, I need some down the bottom here. Okay. You can always trim off the cheesecloth if you think, oh gosh, that's too much there. You can always trim it off after, when it's sort of dried off a bit. Put some around here. There somewhere. Probably need some up there as well. Grab some more. Come on. Here we go. Tucking that in. Now, I mean, that's far too long there, but I will, once it's settled a bit, and then once it's dry too, I can come in with my little pokey tool and just sort of spread it out, get rid of some of all of that excess stuff. Okay, it will need a haircut. Okay. Okay, so you can knock yourself silly doing all of that as well. I might just grab a little bit just to add a little bit of softness up the top here. And just to push that down into there. Push that down. So I can get that leaf to sit down. That will hold that nicely. Oh, now I've got glue all over me. Ah. So girls, when I've changed this, uploaded this as a YouTube video, when you watch it, you can actually speed it up a little bit so that you don't have to watch it in real time. You can make it go fast forward, that kind of thing, because a lot of this is sort of tedious stuff. So just have a look for that sort of, see how you can do that on your device. Okay, now I did want to put some stamping on, and I forgot. Where's the one I've been using of late? This will do. I just wanted, oh dear, it just went in the water. I just want something with a little bit of written script on it. So I'm just going to just start putting it around. I don't mind if it gets on the actual images a bit. Okay, you can't read it, and with the texture paste you can't really read what's going on anyway. It's just to add a little bit more interest to what you've got there. Not too much on the main elements, but it's just to bring all of those elements in together. Right. Okay. Oh, everything's swimming in gesso here. Oh dear. Okay, put some lids on things and oops. Okay, so I'm just going to do a few more splatters and I'm going to call that done. I'm not really going to put any words on it. I might, if I feel like it needs it tomorrow, I'll probably do it. But I might need a bit of glue because it's very fine. Now, where I might grab my ink out again. Okay, not quite as heavy as before. Brush, there it is, got water on it, so, oops, I said not as heavy, but anyway, that's just over bits and pieces. All right. Okay, so I won't, I'll tell you what I will do, just as a highlight, because normally I'll put water around, but I'm just going to tap my blending tool with the watering can, stamp pad, and I'm just lightly going around the edges. I tend to focus a little bit more on the corners. Use it in there. Yeah, I tend to go in a little bit on the corner. I don't know why, but I just sort of feel that helps a little. All right, so I'm going to call that done, my darlings. Thank you. Who's that? Oh, thank you, Beth. Didn't see you there, darling. Hello, hello. Happy New Year. Yep. Oh dear. Okay. All right, darling. Well, you'll certainly be able to catch up on this after. Um, I'm just close your eyes for a minute, girls. I'm just gonna lift up my camera a bit, and just so you can sort of um, hopefully see it all. But I'll take some photos and put those up tomorrow. And yeah, so I just really, really love these these little mini project sheets. So you can add lots and lots of your own stuff, and backing sheets and things like that. So I've added lots of little tags onto what they already provide for you. So I think it's a lovely little thing. You could turn that into a scrapbook page too, put a photo in there somewhere. It would look awesome. So thank you for joining me tonight. And yeah, so thanks, girls. I shall see you again later. And thank you. See you later. Bye bye.